So the question was asked that Sikhi is against suicide, but what's the view on physician-assisted suicide, or what we call in the UK euthanasia? Okay, this is a very important question. Now, first and foremost, before we start to think about whether someone is okay to end their life, the question you have to ask is, what is life itself? Okay, for us as a Sikh, life is an opportunity to actually realize our true aim, which is to merge with God, right? So Maharaj has made this whole world, which seems like a great illusion, but it's only there for one purpose, yeah? For us to realize our true origin, our divine origin. Maharaj says, Man tu jo sarup hai, apna mool pachan. So recognize your origin. Now, when it comes to somebody who's already a good Sikh, already recognized their origin, but maybe in terrible pain, and is thinking, Maharaj, just finish me off, you know? It's a question, anyway, my job here is not to sit here and give you what I think is right or wrong. It's just giving you opinions on the matter. But at that moment, it's up to that person to decide whether life is worth living, whether even in that moment of pain, they could actually show an ability to overcome that pain by doing naam. And many people in the past, you know, have gone through terrible pain in our panth and have managed to get through that by naam. And like, for example, you know, we look at the people that were shaheed next to Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, you know, and they were being sown from above, and yet they were doing jab sada part. So obviously, it is possible for someone to go over pain. However, when it comes to something like this, it's each person to their own to make that decision. But the pointers are, do we realize what life is? Now, when it comes to somebody who has not really jumping naam and maybe has a ability for that life to go lower and lower in quality, then really for me, I think the first thing, if a Sikh was to give that person some counselling, it would be like, you know what, how about we decide to talk to you about what is the purpose of your life. Because if somebody isn't getting naam, if somebody isn't connected to Akal Purkh Waheguru, then effectively what they've done is they've wasted the life so far and the life henceforth. Yeah. So we're going to have to try what we can to connect to Akal Purkh Waheguru, yeah, and jap naam. So our purpose as advice as a Sikh to give to that person, obviously they have the right to choose what they want to do because it's their life. But the advice you would give them is, whilst you're alive, you have still the opportunity, whilst you have breath in your body, to use that breath to connect to Akal Purkh Waheguru. And if you choose not to, then whether you end this life or you come back, you're going to have to come back anyway. Because Maharaj says, Naam bina ko mukt na hoi. Without Naam, no one can become mukt. So without connecting to Akal Purkh Waheguru, we cannot get mukti. Because that's our divine origin. We're here to realize our origin. If we didn't realize, then we have to come back and try again. And there's no guarantee the next time we will come back as a human being. So there is a bit of a risk factor in ending it and thinking, I'll come back as a human next time, because there's no guarantee of it. Yeah, this is a 1 out of 8.4 million opportunity to be a human being. Okay, and sometimes we don't realize how valuable that is. So we waste our life, but we are very, very lucky to be born into a human life. Mana says, "Eh manas janam dulam hai, naam bina birtha sab jai." This human life is very, very hard to find, but without naam, it all goes to waste. So the only answer really is, if we haven't connected to Akal Purkh Waheguru, we should try until our very last breath.